All right, hello, welcome back. It is the Cup Chasers podcast. The penultimate weekend in the Premier League was lots of fun, lots of important games. And go ahead and smash up the likes, get the subscription on, get the notification bell on as well. And we'll definitely have plenty of content coming. Even though the season's ending, we got plenty coming over the summer. But we'll go ahead and get into it. We'll start with probably the most exciting and important of the 10 o'clock games, at least if you're an Everton fan. The enigma that is Wolverhampton Wolves, Wandering Wanderers, Wolves. At home, man. Different team. Lopetegui's got him organized, gave Hechan an opportunity, got his goal. And for a long time, it looked like Everton were dire straits. I know the point isn't ideal. This one they would have wanted to win for sure, but due to a rash of World Cup-esque stoppage times, I don't know if you noticed that over the weekend.
11, 7.
The FA decided to adopt it, and I'm kind of glad they did, actually.
Like 5 or 6 games that had like 11-minute, huge amounts of stoppage time. And so Mina in the 99th minute, massive goal for Everton. Coupled with the Leicester result means that all they need is a win. All they have to do, beat Bournemouth.
Control your own destiny.
Beat Bournemouth, and it doesn't matter. If Leicester would have won today, they would have controlled their own destiny because of 9 goals in goal difference. So, I mean, Everton would have had to beat Bournemouth by like 15 goals or something like that to make that up, which is never going to happen. And so that goal right there in the 99th minute, that 1 point gives them control of their own destiny. So that could, say they smash Bournemouth 4-0. That Mina goal right there could be the one.
What is the keeper doing there?
Oh, you're just seeing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I guess those script writers, those Premier League script writers gave a little whisper in the keeper's ear there, huh?
Hey, I get tracking the ball, but at some point you got to realize that ball is probably going to head outwards.
Yeah.
So then you just leave the goal wide open. I mean, come on.
Hey, I'm not saying it's scripted, but
some wacky things happen.
Yeah.
So does Daesh get like some special like bonus like Alderweireld was going to get if he kept Leeds up?
I don't know. There's got to be something in the clause because that's why they sacked Lampard. They were afraid. They were fearing.
They had every reason to be.
Just this scenario. They were fearing a relegation fight, and
Again,
they're embroiled in it. But like I say, control their own destiny.
Yep, that's all you can ask for.
The other big game in the relegation battle this weekend was on Sunday. And Leeds, man. Leeds, United States of America. They're going down, I'm telling you. Big Sam, if you just would have come in
and not said anything.
With the humility.
Just a little humble.
Come in with the, hey, we've been here before. I've been here before. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to bring all my experience, and we're going to get out of here, and we're going to escape.
He only knew he had 4 days.
They were up early.
That would have been so much better than saying, I'm a hot shot. I'm the man. Have some of this.
This is Big Sam we're talking about. He doesn't have a humble bone in his body.
Yeah, I mean, but then you come out and okay, we knew you were going to lose to City. Everybody knew that. Herculean performance at St. James's Park to get the 2-2 draw. And then just, oh goodness. Good.
Everywhere.
I mean, and this is going to sound really bad, but once again, Sam starts Patrick Bamford. Just absolutely ridiculous. But they were blessed because like 20 minutes in, he took an injury and was out. And so they brought on Yanato, who should have started anyway, for me. And I'm not wishing injuries on anybody, and it sounds really bad to say that. And I don't have an agenda, I promise. But they were way better. They were much better without him. But still, West Ham controlled this game. Once, and that's been the story for Leeds is they have a spell where they have a ton of energy, and sometimes they get a goal, sometimes they don't. This time they did, came out, got their goal, and then mistakes, sat back too much, I would say. Um, yeah, man, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Do we think if Jesse Marsh stays, they would have been all right?
They're bad, man.
Or do you think it comes back to Tyler Adams, the injury?
That was a huge injury. Huge injury. That said, I don't know if I don't think they're that good. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. You got Patrick Bamford starting as your 9. The guy he hasn't scored. I think he had a really good season like 2 years ago, and then he hasn't scored more than I think 10 goals in a season since. And not to bring up Chelsea, but I experienced it as a Chelsea fan. We don't have anybody put the freaking ball in the back of the net. Neither does Leeds. That's the name of the game in the long run, right? You got to score goals to win. So I don't think if Marsh was there, if anyone, well, maybe Pep. I think Pep would have kept him up, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm starting to think that Pep would actually be able to win at Tottenham the way he's been winning at City.
No, there's a challenge.
There's a challenge, exactly.
There's a real challenge.
That's like the Messi, on a Tuesday rainy Tuesday night at Stoke. Yeah, I mean, the thing is Marsh's system worked pretty well for a good bit of time. But it's the whole idea. What separates a good manager from a great manager, right? Good manager, they have their system, they get their players, they're good to go. But as soon as someone figures out how to defeat that system, they got nothing else.
Tinker.
Exactly. But they can't tinker. They're not tactically able to tinker with what they currently have. That's why you have the greatest, or Pep and
low blow. That was a low blow, Lewis. that was a cheap shot.
Tinker.
Tinker.
Yeah.
So the point being, there's a devoid of talent. Tyler Adams was a huge part of that engine running, but I think even with him healthy, I think they're in the same position still. Can't score goals, you're not winning games.
100%.
Do we think they're lucky that it's Tottenham on the final day? Tottenham, who are trying to get 8th place?
I mean, it depends. Does Harry Kane want to leave on a good note, or is Harry Kane just like, I'll give him 1 goal and then we'll just chill?
He's not leaving.
The thing is, Leeds need the most help of the 3. So Leeds have to win.
And a win by them. And
Leeds have to win. They need a Leicester loss and they need an Everton loss, and Leeds have to win, which is bad. Leicester are at West Ham, and Everton are home to Bournemouth. But if Everton win, it don't matter what Leeds or Leicester do.
Yep,
they're both down. They both have to have. They both need Bournemouth, who haven't. They haven't even shown up to practice in 2 weeks.
They've been playing with a beach ball for 2 weeks.
Let's. I want to preface this by saying I want Everton to stay up, just because.
Sure.
But man, getting relegated at home on the final day. Can you imagine the scenes?
Heartbreak. The fans.
I mean,
burn it down.
They almost had an outright riot last year when they were safe.
I can only imagine the Men in Blazers post if Everton.
Oh, he's gonna be heartbroken.
Raj will be devastated.
Heartbroken.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to be getting you ready for it because that's how they've been playing.
Yeah.
Tough one.
At least they're at home, so they got a chance.
But credit to West Ham, trying to keep that momentum like City. Got a European final coming up, so they want to keep the momentum, want to keep it rolling. Still firing on all cylinders. Still got a good counterattack, scoring some good goals. Lanzini comes on, gets his goals. So yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Rice should have had a goal, but they passed the ball too late for him, and he couldn't get to it in time.
Well, he scored. Rice scored the first goal.
Yeah, but there was one breakaway with I don't remember who it was with, but I mean the guy he made the run from midfield because Leeds was it Leeds? Yeah, Leeds had everybody up pretty much except for the keeper. And it was literally 1v1 against the keeper, and he made the wrong pass to Rice, and so Rice ended up hitting it off the post.
I remember that one. Yeah. Could have had two. Same scoreline at the MX. Brighton over Southampton. Not really much to say about this one. Brighton do their thing. Kind of figured they'd win. Yeah, I mean, Brighton needed to win. So took care of business. Evan Ferguson up top. I think he's like 18. Nice young prospect. He's looked good. Got a couple of goals in this one. He's looked good in his past couple of weeks. He's been able to come in. Pascal Gross scores as well. Yeah, pretty much what you'd expect. Southampton trying to get contracts with other teams. Pretty much where they were coming in on this one. El Yunusi gets the goal, so maybe that'll boost him in some other team's eyes. Maybe Coventry will come in for him, or Luton, depending on who's gonna win that one.
I was gonna say this about Brighton. Matoma and Caicedo and McAllister and who's the other one? They all get the accolades, but Pascal Gross has been really, really good this year. Like he's just a really good calming force. He's not flashy by any means, but he puts in a shift every game, and he's fun to watch.
Absolutely. They do have a good core over there, Brighton, and if they can keep some of them, like you say, X, it might be a raid.
Gonna be a raid.
Might be a fire sale over there.
Caicedo's gone. McAllister's gone.
But if not, maybe they'll be able to keep some players and make a good run in the whatever European competition looking like Europa League. Maybe they'll do something in that next season. Speaking of next season, Newcastle United with the draw today, clinched Champions League for the first time in 20 years. Big day. Would have liked to have won it. You could tell at the end of the game that Newcastle wanted to win as well and stamp it. Leicester hanging on by the skin of their teeth.
Bro,
by a thread.
The Foxes trying to fox.
This game, I'm telling you, man, it annoyed me. It really did.
I mean, it went to plan. I mean, it 100% Leicester's game plan worked the way they wanted it to.
They mouthed it, man.
They had 3 guys marking Callum Wilson in the box.
It was so narrow, so incredibly narrow, and they were just happy to let crosses in all day. They were cool with that. But remember I was putting in the chat, every time, especially when St. Maximin came on, every time they drove the fullback, beat him, and then went at that closest center back or went at the post, it looked dangerous.
Mhm.
It looked like they were going to get the cutback and get a goal. And that's just one way to break down low blocks like that. And this was the lowest of the low block. I mean, the only thing different than this performance and the Leicester at home versus Manchester City performance was that Leicester actually had a little bit of energy this time.
Yeah.
And the City game, I mean, I remember Kevin De Bruyne was walking half the game because he didn't have to do anything else in that one, but I feel like the Vardy Iheanacho combo was just not. There was so much space in behind them too, between them and the midfielders. Because if you noticed, it was Tielemans, Samare, and Ndidi, and they were so close to each other the whole time. Like it was like part of their instructions to not let space get in between them. And it left tons of space on the outside. But
Do we think Bruno should have gotten a red?
yes, 100%.
That was a very dangerous challenge.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was reckless or out of control, which is probably the only thing that made it not a clear and obvious error. This is one of those where if the referee on field gives a red, I don't think it's overturned. So he's lucky that it was like the 11th minute, really. If that's the 70th minute, he might get sent off there.
Yeah.
He might see the straight red. And I thought for half a second that they were going to, and I was like, man, Leicester have an opportunity. Yeah, but
he was frustrated today. Very frustrated.
There's no space.
I mean,
There's no space.
And that's the thing. I think Isak's really great. He really, really is. But I think that really showed today what Newcastle is lacking. They're lacking someone who, while Bruno's great, I'm not saying he's not. They're lacking someone who can truly break down a low block.
Oh, yeah, Bruno's way more defensive, I would say, oriented than offensive. Yeah,
I think they're going to see that a lot more next season too.
Almost definitely.
Absolutely. But this one for Leicester, man, Leicester needed it. Needed it so bad. And even when James Maddison come on to fill the space that was left, they still didn't. They came out, they stopped with the sitting back. They come out and tried to actually play a game. Just lack quality. Like
they had a couple good chances. They just didn't take them.
Yeah, but the last chance, like the most poignant chance I remember, was James Maddison. They had a couple of passes. Maddison picks the ball up in the right channel in space and then rips one out of bounds across the field.
That was terrible. But they had one where Samari, the ball was played just about a step too far on him, and the keeper was able to get out and clear it. But that was a really good chance for them, and they just didn't. They couldn't land it. But I mean, it was also the same thing with Newcastle. I mean, they played a few balls into the box where it was a step too slow to get to it.
Hit the bar a couple times, yeah.
Yep. Callum Wilson missed an absolute sitter.
Yeah, that's true.
So did Bruno. Oh my gosh, Bruno's miss was worse.
So it could have been worse for Leicester. Could have been, but now their situation. Let's see. Leicester play at West Ham. They have to win and then some. Need an Everton loss. I think they're in a better spot than Leeds because if Everton draw and they win, their goal difference is better.
Right.
Let me look at the table. I got it up right here. So yeah, if Everton draw and Leicester win, they'll be tied, and they have 6 goals better on goal difference.
Yeah, they do.
So they gotta pray. They gotta pray. But you know, again, West Ham are gonna want to keep that winning mentality. So West Ham aren't just gonna lay down.
No.
I don't see it. I just don't see it, man. They don't have they just lack the quality. That's what it's been all season. Like, even if Brendan Rodgers stays,
No.
I don't think he turns it around. They lack that quality, man.
Their top goal scorer is what? Harvey Barnes?
Yeah, it's not good. He's got like 7 goals. Not good. Not good at all. They're down. Newcastle rather, whom Chelsea play on the final day. So that'll be a beach bash clash.
Yep.
For sure. Maybe Frank will finally play the youngsters for the game. At the very end. Connor
He
Gallagher.
has a job to do. He has a job to do.
He has a job to do on the last day. Absolutely. Leicester have a job to do, praying, hoping all week long that something will go their way and they'll be able to stay in the league. I don't think it's likely, but yeah. Well, if you're praying just like Leicester that your team's going to stay in the league, go ahead and smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. We'll be back real soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Have a good night.